Hi everybody, this is Sarah with your Tech Try It for this week. This week is focused on assessment and digital platforms, and so what we're going to focus on is looking at a website that is called goformative.com. We understand from headquarters that this has been through the vetting process. We're just waiting on official words, so we wanted to give you an opportunity to look at it. So this week, we're going to keep it pretty simple, and I want to remind you that you are not required to use this as you are with all of the Tech Try-Its. This is just an opportunity for you to look at it, think about it in terms of, is this something that would be useful to me, etc. So for this week, what we're recommending is that you're going to go to the website and you're going to spend some time just exploring the resources and videos. I've put on here a link to all of the resources. I'll click in here and look at this. You have a help center, you have video tutorials, there's a PD pack, and then there's even some webinars that you can go to. This section at the bottom is all about using GoFormative in a virtual classroom. In addition, I put a direct link to that specific, since the context is really how to be using GoFormative in virtual. Thinking about how in a blended environment you might get kids used to these kinds of things, so that if we did need to go virtual again, it would be a little bit easier for them. So the more experience they have with it before, the easier it would be for you in terms of then supporting them if we did get in a situation where we had to go virtual again. Hopefully not, but just in case. And then finally, a direct link to the video tutorials. So what we're going to ask you to do this week is to explore them, whatever is of interest to you and however much time you want to spend. We're also going to recommend, once you go into GoFormative, I've already joined. You're going to have to log in or sign up depending on if you've used it before or not. I'm going to log in with my Google account, and so that comes in here, and I'll log in. And part of what we're encouraging you to do is just to spend some time in the library. So at the top, this is really going to be your formative area. You can set up classes, a tracker, etc. This is really a great resource. But then explore the library and just try searching for different things. One thing that I'm going to recommend that you do is to search by DODEA. Headquarters has already started loading just a couple of examples. So Sharon Summerlin has loaded a couple of examples in there that you could use. And then last fall or last spring when we were working, one of our math coaches worked with her team to load a lot of our math assessments in there. So you are free to go in and look at these and just see what it looks like or might look like. These are just math examples, but there are others as well. If you go back to the library and clear the filter, so Kristen Will would be what you would type in here to look at those. But you can also look for anything, like you might be looking at bugs. Let's see if anything comes up for bugs. There's some bugs things. You might be looking at close read. So you can look at all kinds of examples just by putting a search in to filter that by. You could search by standards. So let's say I put in 2.nbt. Let's see what comes up in there. So just keep in mind that you can search by standard, authors, descriptors, etc. So look in that. In terms of your final thing, we have a very simple GoFormative for you to try. And so to do that, I'm going to come in here and you're going to go, and this code is in the slide deck, you're going to go to goformative.com/join, and you're going to enter as a guest so you can see what this would look like for kids. 2NCQTS, and that'll allow you to come in and look at it as a guest. So you can see what it would look like for kids. So basically what we've done, this has just been created by Chalice. You're going to go through and just see different types of questions. So I can tell here at the top, it's assigned to guests. It was created by Chalice. It's a live session. There are 7 questions. There are each of these questions annotated up here so you could see what it looks like as you move through. But as you go through, you'll just get a chance to see what does it look like. You can check all that apply here. So I'll put in what I love, which is everything. And maybe what is the capital of the United States? I'm going to put in Washington, D.C. So you're just selecting. This is a true, false. And then this is an enter text. Why is it important to go to school? And you can insert your idea here by clicking and simply typing. So those are pretty easy. This one has an example of a show your work, and this is where GoFormative gets really interesting because this is a way we can have kids easily draw and put their work in with them. So this says use the color tool and the point tool to place a point on your birthday. Okay, so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to click on show your work. And now that brings me in to this actual question. And so I'm going to come in here, click on the color tool. I'm going to pick a color and I'm going to put a dot on my birthday. And then I click done. Okay. And so now the instructor would be able to see it as you're progressing. That's a really cool thing about it. The next one is use the rectangle tool and the circle tool to draw each shape. Then use the line tool to divide each shape into halves or quarters. Okay, so I'm going to show my work again. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to click on rectangle in the left side. I can draw that in. I can also come in and click on circle and make a circle. And then I'm going to use the line tool by clicking on the pencil and going to line and showing where I would divide that about in half, like this, and into halves or quarters. And so maybe this one I'll do into quarters. That's a little wonky, but pretty close. And then again, I mark done. And so what's great is you can see the work. Kids could also go back in and fix or erase using the erase tool. So you're going to want to make sure that they know how to do that as well. So they can come in here, they can draw the line tool again, and come in here. Okay, so you'll have explored with those as well. You can change color on any of the things by clicking up here on color. That shows your line thickness. You can fill shapes or do dash lines. I mean, there's lots of options here. So just play with that and get familiar with the tools. So I'm going to come back here. And this is then use the text tool and pencil tool to type and draw your name. Use the eraser tool to erase one letter from your name. So again, I would come in here, practicing using the text tool. And really all we want you guys to do is to get used to just the different tools this week. I'm going to use my scribble now and draw my name. And then my eraser tool by clicking on it and erasing over. And then I'll draw in again, my A and my H. And then, excuse me, as tractors are going by. Once you're completely done, you'll click submit and it will turn it in for you as well. And so really that's our focus this week, is just that you get to have an experience of trying the tools, just play with them a little bit as a guest in GoFormative, so you can see it as a student. You're welcome to create an account and to play with it more if you're of interest to it. You could use it to create your assessments for this week's assignments, but again, not required. Let us know if you have any questions at all. We'll definitely be going into this more as the school year progresses and we get going back in the classroom through work with the district office and things like that. But enjoy it and good luck.